Noon pa man, malaki na ang naging bahagi ng mga kababaihan sa lipunang Pilipino. Kaisa sila sa marubdob na paghahangad ng kalayaan ng ating lahi. Kabilang sila sa paglinang ng ating makulay na sining at mayamang kultura. Kasapi sila sa pagtataguyod ng mga adhikain ng kapwa mamamayan at sa pagtugon sa mga pangangailangan ng lipunan. Katuwang sila sa pagtuklas sa mga larangan ng agham at medisina. Kapanalig sila sa pagpapairal ng batas, karapatan at katarungan para sa lahat. Kabahagi sila sa paglilingkod sa bayan at sa pagpapanatili ng demokrasyang Pilipino. Sa paglipas ng panahon, hindi nagmaliw ang kanilang pag-ibig sa ating inang bayan. Mga kababayan, ito ang alay ng mga kababaihang Pilipino para sa bayan. Tumayo po tayong lahat at sabay-sabay nating awitin ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiging pero sa silanganan, alam ng puso sa dilim mo'y buhay. Lupang hiniram, dulot na ng magiging sa manlulupi. Ito masisingin sa nagatang tulog sa silang at sa lalim mong bahaw. May ginagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang isang ng patawad mo'y tagumpay na nagliligid. Ang bituin at araw na kailan pa may magiging. Lupa ng araw ng 100% buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Ang higaya na pag ay makakamit ang mga kailang dahil sa'yo.
of applause, please. Thank you very much, Ida. Thank you, Rhoda, also who is here virtually with us. She is our virtual MC. She is also the president of the Philippine Association of Legitimate Service Contractors. Again, magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. And it's nice to see people face to face. Isn't it great? You know, the energy when we felt everyone coming in, Rosemary and I were like, hi, we're ushering everyone to take their seats, and then no one would be quiet for the prayer, but we did be quiet for the national anthem, but thank you very much. Now at this point, I would like to recognize the VIPs. They're all VIPs, even those who are joining us virtually. But I'd like just to say that it was quite a journey for us to the past 2 years to not be able to see each other. But here we are, and we know that we'll be able to sustain and recover and thrive. So here I'd like to introduce or acknowledge some of our VIPs, especially from government and from the Foreign Service. We have Ms. Ama Satumba, Director of the ILS. Director, ILS is Labor Studies, yes. And then Institute of Labor Studies from the Department of Labor and Employment. We also have our friends from Foxco, the Filipino Online Service Contractors. They are the ones doing the modules for our digital marketing program for the Women's Strong Network. We have with us the president of ITAP, the Infocom Technology Association Philippines, Carlos Subido, who will be inducted as Alliance member. We have the chairman of FinTech Alliance, Mr. Lito Villanueva. We have our trustee of PCCI, the Philippine Chamber of Commerce, Ms. Bing Ling Hoco. We have the president of the PCCI, Mr. George Barcelon. We have also with us our friends from the IWI, the Indian Women Entrepreneurs. We have Priya Murugesan, and we have Sharon Toronto. Our sisters, right? And we'd like also to recognize our friends from the Department of Trade and Industry. We have Yusek Bless Lantanoya, and the team, Ms. Emma, Sir Edwin, Sir Burns. We'd also like to recognize the presence of our friends from the U.S. Embassy Manila Economic Section, Ms. Margaret Herring. We have Tiffany Beham Habong. We have Lucy Mason, and we have Sir Darrell Ching. Darrell. And then our friends as well, of course, from the president of the International Council for Small Business, Mr. Eric Kaeg. President of Field Export, Mr. Senen Perlada. We have with us our ambassadors. Thank you so much. It's so nice to meet women ambassadors. We have Ambassador Michelle Bocos, from the ambassador from the Embassy of France. We have also Ambassador Lori Bufis from the Ambassador of the United Kingdom. And also, do we have our friends from Philippine Commission on Women? Not yet, but we have the Assistant Secretary General of the Philippine Retail Association, Ms. Bing Miranda. And of course, our friends, close friends, we have Mr. Tony Meloto, President of Paraiso Farms. Mr. Jaime Bautista, Board Member of Trudeau. We have Frederick Dibuncio, President of SMIC. I hope I didn't miss anyone, but they're all special and later on. And of course, our keynote speakers. Yes, of course. Our keynote speaker, Ms. Tessie C. Cotton. with us, the chairperson of the ASEAN Business Advisory Council. We have Chairperson Yanti Raman, who is with us from Brunei. Yes. We are waving right now. Hello, Chairperson Yanti. Yes, thank you so much. And we have also with us virtually our friends from the ASEAN Access. We have Nipawis Ritindro. We have Nipawis Ritindro from the International Cooperation Department of OSMEP. And we have Trine Udris, the consultant for the ASEAN Access and OSMEP. Here we are. Yes, please spotlight them. Here we go. Hi, Trine. Yes. And we have our friends from ECO, the Employers Cooperative, Confederation of the Philippines, Ms. Diane Pardo Aguilar, Vice President. Diane. And we have from the Department of Science and Technology, our GAD focal person, Assistant Secretary Diane Ignacio. I'm sorry. Very good. Okay, so we have our VIPs both virtually and here in person. Now, to move on, I just want to say that being a COVID president was no joke the past 2 years, but I do have something as a gift for all of you. This, I believe, is something of value to all of us, since we are for gender mainstreaming and putting a gender lens in all our businesses and our endeavors. This is the I Am Woman. This is a book published by our 2020-2022 group of, and then we have the Women Rise. I believe these are really important literature that fills in the gap on the gender lens that we have here in the Philippines. And I congratulate the board of 2020-2022, as well as the members for coming up with this published books, all within the COVID period of 2020 to 2022. Thank you so much. And to move on to what I'd like to share with you is that I would like to start with a quote before I present my president's report. Don't worry, it's in video format, so I will not bore you. Roy Bennett said that believe in yourself, you are braver than you think, more talented than you know, and capable of more than you imagine. This resonated on how I was able to lead the Women's Business Council Philippines during a period of economic difficulty brought about the COVID-19 pandemic. Corporations and enterprises were affected, including my own business. It was imperative to strengthen and support the role of women in leadership, inclusive workplace, marketplace, and equal society, as I believe that women play a vital role in recovery and nation building. So, ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you a short video of what I have done, what we have done in 2020 to 2022 in my president's report. Thank you very much, and thank you for 2 years as president of the Women's Business Council. And at this point, the end of the slideshow is the ASEAN Access, which is a milestone for the Women's Business Council Philippines, as we have been appointed as one of the network partners in the Philippines. So at this point, I'd like to call in Trin Udris to discuss a few features of the ASEAN Access to us. You're on mute, Trin?
Sorry, yes, I was just hearing, can you hear me okay? But nobody could hear me.
Yes, we can.
Right, thank you very much. Hi everyone. My name is Trin Udris. I'm here on behalf of ASEAN Access and also on behalf of the Office of SMEs Promotion of Thailand, who is the lead project proponent, the lead partner behind ASEAN Access. And on behalf of ASEAN Access, firstly, thank you very much for giving us the chance to be here today and to tell all of your network, all of your members and contacts a little bit, very briefly, about ASEAN Access. So, as we all know, some of the challenges that businesses and especially SMEs face when they are trying to grow and expand their business overseas is that they do not know where to get all of the information, how to start, where to start, how to find the market entry support they need, or how to find contacts in other countries. And this is why ASEAN Access was launched almost 12 months ago as an international trade support network and a joint initiative of the governments of the 10 ASEAN member states. And the aim of ASEAN Access is to help ASEAN SMEs trade across border in the region or in further away markets with all of the information on how to get started and to find contacts. It's all in one place and it's free of charge. So what does that mean exactly? What do SMEs get? Firstly, SMEs can access information on how to trade across border in goods and services in ASEAN. They will learn what are the processes, what documents are needed, and what they can do in general. And this is a very comprehensive starting point for everybody. Secondly, sorry, I hear some noise. Secondly, ASEAN Access has a database of companies from the 10 member states who can offer SMEs a variety of business services that are needed to enter the local market. And at the same time, the same businesses who are offering the services, we call them service providers, they have a whole new channel of potential clients they could find and increased visibility. Thirdly, all businesses who use ASEAN Access who sign up free of charge, they can also browse different country profiles and sector briefs on key ASEAN industries, which they can use to formulate their market entry strategies or how to expand. They can find out more about different trends, opportunities, and challenges in a specific country or in an industry in a specific country. And there is more. So ASEAN Access is actually also very interactive as well. We organize live virtual business matchmaking events through ASEAN Access Match. And Match, or ASEAN Access Match, is the regional flagship business matchmaking event platform. And it's actually a bit of a trailblazer in the world of business support because it's much more efficient for businesses. One-time registration, a single registration, gives businesses a lifetime access to all of our matchmaking events and any other events that we do. Because everything happens on the same place, no information is ever lost. And this means that there is an ever-growing business community that all of our members will become part of. And also there is a non-stop product and technology showcase for all of the members of ASEAN Access Match. So there is quite a lot that they can benefit. And last but not least, to summarize ASEAN Access, I would actually like to highlight that ASEAN Access is not just a platform or a website, but it's actually a network. We have around 40 partners who have joined ASEAN Access from the 10 member states. We are continuously growing, and it's the network that makes it all possible through the common goal of SME internationalization, of event organization, and continuous collaboration with each other, which is why we would also all like to welcome, and we are very excited that the Women's Business Council of the Philippines has also joined ASEAN Access and has become our newest network partner. Thank you very much and welcome.
Thank you very much, Trin, for this. And also, at this point, maybe call in our Undersecretary Les Lantayona with Mr. Edwin Pasahol, as well as our past chairperson, Monet Hamlin, our incoming president, Rosemary Rafael, to have our photo op for the virtual MOA signing for the Women's Business Council as network partner, Ma'am Emma, yes. For the end, as well as we have virtually, we will be joined by Ms. Trin Udris and Rujirek Petpimolmat, the International Cooperation of ASEAN. All right, let's give a warm applause to the partnership between the Department of Trade and Industry, Women's Business Council, and ASEAN Access. Thank you. All right, and one photo with our guests from OSBEF. Thank you very much, Ms. Rujirek Petpimolmat and Trin Udris. Thank you. Okay, at this point, we would like now to introduce our first keynote speaker, who has really been supportive of the Women's Business Council Philippines. We have the director, she was the director cum principal architect of Eco Bumi Architect, the member of Legislative Council of Brunei, chairwoman of the ASEAN Business Council Advisory Council, the ASEAN Business Advisory Council, the first woman chairperson, chairwoman of the ASEAN Business Advisory Council Brunei, founding member of the ASEAN Future Workforce Council, or AFWC. She's also the co-chair of the Manpower Industry Steering Committee for Construction and a board member of Darussalam Enterprise. Yang Berhomat RCT Rosaimatri Yanti, the Haji Abdul Rahman, is a registered practicing architect with RIBA chartered member in the UK and ASEAN architect. Prior to establishing Eco Bumi Architect, Chair Yanti Rahman was a senior architect with the Public Works Department, Ministry of Development of Brunei for 15 years. She is the first female president of the Institution of Surveyor, Engineer, and Architect for the term 2018-2019. As a Legislative Council member, Chair Yanti Rahman actively presents the equality of opinions in all the concerns raised, particularly on issues of education, skills and development, women and economic growth. Let's all listen to the chairperson of the ASEAN Business Advisory Council, Chair Yanti Rahman.
Thank you so much, Mylene. Mabuhay, good afternoon, and salam sejahtera to everyone. So, Rosemary Rafael, President of Women's Business Council, Philippines. Mybin Abiva, Chairperson of the Women's Business Council, Philippines. Excellencies, founding members, distinguished speakers, inspiring and resilient businesswomen, and sisters of ASEAN. First of all, I would like to actually congratulate you, Mylene, and your councils who actually have done fantastic work for the past few years, especially during the COVID time. Fantastic report, congratulations. So to begin with, I would actually like to express my sincere gratitude and congratulate to the newly appointed of the Women's Business Councils Philippines of offices 2022 to 2024. And it is truly an honor to be here today, celebrating women breaking the barriers and empowering one another for equal rights and access to resources and also opportunities. And I commend and applaud each and every one behind the Women's Business Council Philippines for the remarkable work and dedication you have invested in the voices of women in bringing economic concerns and needs to the forefront, ensuring they are heard and also addressed. Now, I definitely salute to all of you for the hard work, setting an example to the rest in the region that we need every effort towards building an inclusive ASEAN. And there is no doubt that your great effort and sacrifice have created such huge impact in business, especially SMEs.
Yes, we lost your sound. Chair Yanti. Yes. Or this is a challenge.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Chair Yanti.
Right, sorry, I can actually hear some mix behind my voice, some voices as well, so apologies, I'm not really sure from where. So just let me know if you can actually hear me very, very clearly, yeah, Mylene? So I'm actually basically touching in 2019, where approximately about 54% of the MSMEs in Philippines are actually run by women, and I'm just so truly impressed and well-deserved in terms of recognition as well. And indeed, women have come a very long way. However, despite our achievements and progress, women continue to face barriers, challenges, and also underrepresented. And furthermore, COVID-19 have reminded us that it has made a more drastic impact on women where they lost their bread and butter as means to support their family. Now, over the years, ASEAN Business Advisory Council has been actively supporting women through the public and private partnership platforms, such as ASEAN Women Entrepreneurship Network, which is our as our joint business council. And ASEAN BAC encourage women representatives to provide views and recommendations through webinars and also we also support the Women's Business Council Philippines, particularly for the Women's Strong Network in ASEAN. So during these challenging times, we need to acknowledge that we also see women rising with the ability to take advantage of digitalization of their businesses. And this allows women to have access to economic opportunities which the labor market cannot provide, and supporting a greater autonomy on working patterns that are compatible with care responsibilities. And recently, ASEAN has reached another significant milestone on the development of the Declaration on Unlocking Women Entrepreneurship in ASEAN. And we recognize the need to strengthen this critical component for inclusive growth and development with strong support through the private sector, and having more public-private engagements and consultations, promoting collaboration with other women groups of trade associations and also business chambers. Now, this declaration is a symbolic that reflects ASEAN is ready to uplift women, which we wholly support, and would encourage women to participate in the economy and also to take on more leadership roles. And we believe that women entrepreneurship is the key in promoting inclusive economic recovery across the region. And we must continue to evolve our mindsets on gender roles and address the practical challenges that women normally face. Now, if there is one thing ASEAN has learned from the pandemic, it is the value of solidarity that has enabled us to mitigate the impact of this crisis and solidify ASEAN's commitments to protect people's lives and livelihoods. And only by doing this sama-sama, ASEAN can then recover and grow stronger toward an inclusive and resilient ASEAN. Maraming salamat po. Thank you, Mylene. I can't really hear you, Mylene. I think there's a sound.
Yes, again.
Okay. We can't hear you.
It's a virtual certificate.
Thank you so much.
Can have a picture with you virtually and here in the camera. This is technology.
Okay.
Thank you. Remaka, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Ms. Rosemary, you can actually stay on stage to introduce our keynote speaker, our second keynote speaker, our incoming president, Ms. Rosemary Rafael.
Thank you, Trustee Ida. Our keynote speaker, Tessie C. Coson, PSC to me, is a vice chairperson of SM Investments Corporation, a leading Philippine company that is invested in market leading businesses in retail, banking, and property. In banking, Ms. C. Coson is a chairperson of BDO Unibank, the Philippines' leading bank to date. Sorry. Yes. I'm trying about coming in. So she sits as an advisor to the board of directors of SM Prime Holdings, one of the largest integrated property developers in Southeast Asia, with interests in malls, residences, commercial buildings, leisure, and tourism development. And she is also the chairperson of SM Foundation, which takes the lead in implementing a comprehensive sustainability program to improve the quality of life of its host communities. From 2011 to 2019, Ms. C. Coson served as a Philippine representative to the ASEAN Business Advisory Council, ASEAN. Let's welcome Mrs. Tessie C. Coson. I can go through life anymore without this glasses. Thank you. Yeah, I really need my glasses now, even with enlarged fonts. Anyway, good afternoon, everyone here, ladies and gentlemen. I will not greet each and every one. I wish you a good afternoon. I was informed that the focus of the Women Business Council has been mostly on the MSME. And rightfully so, because many businesses started as an MSME by women, mostly to supplement the budgets of the family and then grow into large businesses. In our family, however, it was my dad who started the shoe store business. And like many small shop owner, he was very passionate about growing the business. He would take out what he thought was enough for the family expenses and reinvest almost every peso he earned back into the company. That discipline is how he grew his business. But if you ask my mom, that budget was not enough to raise 6 kids. So in order to supplement our household budget with her own entrepreneurial spirit, my mom started making bags and selling them through stalls of her friends initially. Then she grew the business until she had a big factory. But it burned down due to an electric fire in the neighborhood. She was devastated. She had another business and she started selling little girls' clothing, but had to stop when her manager, who is her sister, got married. So, but still, she kept on finding ways to support her kids. And so my mom's effort actually helped us start the clothing department of SM. We used to be only shoe store, and she was the one who started the clothing department. These are our family stories on the side of SM. Typical situations for many MSME. And we never forget that we started small, and even so, we continue to support small and medium-sized businesses. SM is a home for many MSME. Around 80% of our suppliers and tenants in the mall can be classified as SME or MSME. 60% of what you buy in SM actually came from small and medium-sized suppliers. In an average mall, we have about 300 to close to 1,000 stall and stores, 200 to 300 service provider, and a few thousand suppliers. This MSME provides our shoppers fashion, food, fun. They always bring in many concepts on shopping, dining, and entertainment in the malls. Our MSME too have countless MSME suppliers and partners. Altogether, they all make a great mall for our shoppers. In many ways, SM is SM because of the MSME. In BDO, we started working with the SMEs that were servicing our stores and gradually expanded to other industries. Recently, we have added BDO Network Bank, adding about 300 plus branches, catering to MSME through kabuhayan loans. These days, as we are always reminded that we're always reminded that we live in a time of so much change, and companies can only survive if they are able to withstand the change. Change, the COVID-19 pandemics, technological evolutions, geopolitical uncertainties that have profound global effect. Each day brings new challenges. After facing the effect of COVID-19 lockdowns and now the Russia-Ukraine war, we can see how it affects our business. Both these events dislocate the supply chain and agitate the price and the supplies of commodities, driving goods inflations and soon to be followed by wage inflations. All this are driving our costs up and disrupting our business operations. These changes will be with us for the foreseeable future. But as much as it disrupts our lives and businesses, the COVID-19 pandemic has given us a rare moment of pause to make changes that will make our business toward a stronger and better directions. In a way, it helped us prepare to accept challenges and learn to respond to the changing circumstances. Expecting uncertainty will keep us on our toes, so we will continue to learn, change, and progress. And we should never be comfortable anyway. And if we resist change, we risk stagnation. Navigating the changes needs resilient models, resilient mindset, the ability to adapt and bounce back when things don't go as planned. It helps not to think of ourselves as victims of circumstances or let the failure derail our dreams, and give up. We need to have a positive view of the future and consider future whenever we plan the present. We need to keep on building value and take courage to act on opportunities. My dad was a very resilient businessman. Almost nothing discouraged him. If he failed, he picked himself up, and the next day he was on the go again. Always look forward to the next goal. You can ask my brother who's just there. We all experience the same. It's relentless. As entrepreneurs, we should share our goals with our company and employees, and with whom you need to align on a shared purpose and a shared understanding of the challenges we all face regarding the market, customer demands, competitive landscape, technological changes, and regulatory changes. We may find that our business model needs constant review in the light of these changes, but we need to also keep a practical long-term view. The resilience of our business model requires us to focus our energy over things and events within our control, no matter the challenges they bring. Our ability to navigate uncertainty will be in knowing what we can control and what we cannot. Some of the key areas in the business and time like this require review on resilience, like financial resilience, reviewing the working capital positions, ensure sufficient liquidity to enable the company to better weather the effect on revenue, increased costs, or credit issue. And then we also have the operations resilience, change as demand changes. Always seek to evolve in the technology strategy, geographical footprint, customer experience, and employee experience. Constantly improving our supply chain and delivery mechanism to maintain high efficiency. Put more effort to where there is more impact, like focusing on the stronger business, and divest from the businesses we can no longer justify. Move forward to attract more customers, establish new market, and invest in brand building. And we have to reconnect with our employees and manage our workforce with empathy and awareness. They too have been negatively affected by the pandemic, whether economically or emotionally. There is also the technological resilience. Invest in secured and flexible digital infrastructure to improve efficiency and speed, so we can compete in a market that is getting more and more digital. Be always mindful of managing cyber threats. Then we also have to work on the reputational resilience. Work on a clear mission and values and communicate them. Maintain flexibility with the stakeholders and address the societal expectations and improve on criticism. Then we also have the climate resilience. With all the natural disaster coming so frequently and unexpectedly, we need to prepare and protect our business, but also be part of the positive solutions in safeguarding our environment. Looking back on how we started and how my dad and my mom started, how SM started, life seemed simpler then. Today, MSMEs starting business have so much more complex considerations. Technological evolutions, increasingly more regulatory compliances, natural disaster, global political disconnect, and imminent supply disruption. Still, I'm very glad to see many entrepreneurs today, many of them women, rise to these challenges and create opportunities that can drive our country to a future. And for MSMEs looking into supplying us goods and services or looking into credit, we can find ways to work with them. We understand this business because we were once one of the MSME.
Yes, after to share. You're welcome. Oh, thank you. Okay, thank you. Thank you to an icon who is not actually forgetting the past and continuing to support the micro, small, medium enterprises. Ms. Tessie, I do love your comment about being resilient or having resiliency in tech. Looking after our people, looking after the climate. Those are the heart of governance, and I'm very into governance. Looking at the risk, being focused, and certainly embrace the change. Indeed, the only thing constant is change. So thank you again. To continue on, another round of applause. To continue on, this is now going through our let's see, presentation of token of appreciation. That's finished. Sorry about this. I'm an emergency host. Next is a message of support. And may I call on my lead just left to introduce the speaker. And I think, Rosemary, will you be introducing the next speaker? Message of support.
Yeah. I would like to ask Her Excellency Ambassador Michelle to come in front and say a message of support for the Women's Business Council in the Philippines. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for inviting me to participate. And I also have to put my glasses on. But good afternoon, everyone. And thank you very much to President Rosemary Raphael and Chairperson Mylan Lita having me here with you. It's really great to be here to take part in the celebration and recognition of women empowerment and women leadership in business. Indeed, the COVID-19 crisis has highlighted more than ever the specific challenges women are facing both in their personal and professional lives. We have witnessed how women-led businesses were particularly vulnerable to the impact of the health crisis, as many of these were informal and often less resilient. I would like to highlight how much France supports the Filipino government for its recognition of the importance of women-led enterprises and especially women-led MSMEs. I believe that there is a growing number of women leading businesses. I think it's 62% of the new businesses in 2020 were women-led, and an increasing number of women running their businesses on social media or e-commerce platforms. So we definitely see how to raise to now the new challenges, the need for development of gender responsive digital infrastructure. Likewise, in France, figures on female entrepreneurship are encouraging as the share of enterprises led by women have been increasing over the past 30 years, encouraging women's participation in business leadership and ensuring equality among all genders is a top priority of our government. Gender equality is so important, and you are here empowering women. You can really help lead women into promoting women leadership and equity. I would like to mention a few of the companies we have in France that try to promote this concept, like L'Oréal, recognized by the Bloomberg Gender Equality Index as a leader in gender equity in the continuously promoting female leadership, gender pay equity, and also having important sexual harassment policies in place. The importance of advocacy groups, such as the Women's Business Council, cannot be stressed enough. Gathering women from different sectors and backgrounds help shape policies that will truly and efficiently target women. This is particularly important in a country such as the Philippines, as inclusive development will not only improve women's lives, but will benefit the entire country. So that's why I'm so happy with being with you today. I've been very honored to be invited to participate. And I would like to say how proud I am to be with those leading women, helping other women, and developing women leadership in business in the Philippines. Congratulations to you all.
We have a virtual and an actual certificate. Merci beaucoup.
Okay, we're gonna have a short intermission. And we have a surprise guest. We have a song number. My paper here is blank, so I'm not actually sure who's going to get the song number. I would love to introduce, so maybe we have the name. Is that? May I have the name? Sure, kind of. How do I? Thank you. All right, a warm welcome, please, to Miss Kaina.
Hello, everyone.
Yes. I have made some. Okay.
You called me out and told me to move with love. You find my flaws, my teeth, my claws. With love. 'Cause every time I'm slipping away from myself, you're the one that moves me like nobody else. 'Cause when I'm down and I'm done, and I'll come in ungloved, when I'm ready to fall, you're the one always holding me up with love. Oh no. Your tongue on tight, you always find the truth. Yeah, you do. But still you smile despite the lines I drew for you. 'Cause every time I'm slipping away from myself, you're the one that moves me like nobody else. Oh no, 'cause when I'm down and I'm done, and I'm coming ungloved, when I'm ready to fall, you're the one always holding me up When I'm ready to fall, you're the one always holding me up. Oh, when I'm down and I'm coming up. When I'm you're the one always holding me up. Love.
Before you go, this is kind of not fair because we hardly know China, but how come you're so good at doing something? Amazing.
I was just recommended to sing here.
We'll keep an eye on her for future events as well. Thank you so much. Next up, we have the induction of officers. So may I call on the incoming officers, of course, starting with Chair Marlene Aviva, Rosemary Rafael, please come on stage. Please come on stage, Attorney Benedict Balada, the Attorney Dick. I think Cynthia Mamon's not with us. Please come on. Oh, it's gonna call myself. I am already on stage. Rosemary, please come on stage. Monette, Victoria Hamlin, Attorney Lorna Kapunan, and of course, Miss Evelyn Singson. Please come on stage. And to induct us, may I call on Yusek Bless and also Mr. Hansi. Here. Can we have the other mic? Yung isa pang mic. So you. We tried this. Please raise your right hand and repeat after us. I state your name. Having been elected as state your position. Having been elected as president
of Women's Council Philippines, Inc.
Women's Business Council Philippines, Inc.
Do solemnly swear that
solemnly swear that
I
I will defend the aims, purposes, and principles of which WomenbizPH was created. I will defend the aims, purposes, and principles of which this was created.
abide and uphold its bylaws, willingly serve and faithfully perform the functions of my position.
Abide and uphold its vital willingly serve and faithfully perform functions.
And that I impose this obligation upon myself voluntarily without equivocation and reservation.
Go into this obligation on myself voluntarily without. So help me God. So help. Congratulations. To be here na lang, Yusek Bliss and Sir Hansi, we would like. Sige, sige. Mr. Series. We would like to present a certificate of appreciation to Yusek Bless Lamarata, Department of Trade and Industry for imparting valuable for induct the officers, the new board of trustees of 2022 to 24 of the Women's Business Council of the Philippines. Certificate of appreciation presented to Hans C. SM Prime Holdings for imparting valuable insights as inducting officer during the Women Business Council Philippines High Grade Induction of Board of Officers 2022 to 2024. Thank you. Once again, thank you very much, Yusef Les Lantaliona and Mr. Hansi for inducting us. And congratulations to 2022-2024 Board of Trustees of WomenbizPH. Next up, we have the induction of new members. May I call on our President, Rosemary Rafael, to induct our new members. Maybe we call on stage. May I call on our new members, Kate and Lotis, but represented by Kerna and Ms. Cynthia, and of course, our legal equal. Let me just introduce each of the members. If you could just come up on stage, please. Okay, our lead recall. Yes. Arlene Guico is the chairman of the board of World City Group, comprising of hospitals, malls, schools, resorts, and real estate businesses. She is very keen in investing in real estate and turning around distressed businesses, such as the old QCMCC, which she purchased in 1986. She also happens to be a partner in Uptech, and we used to be in the foundation of I Belong. where we are also engaged with a lot of MSMEs and legal municipalities. And I'd like to welcome Kate Nasilo. She is a single mother of eight. Wow. And a corporate leader. She actually is a country manager of Kiani. Of course, I buy it from Kiani, Philippines. And she brought her nurturing heart, innate wisdom, and business acumen from 20 years in the health and wellness industry. She received the Hall of Fame award from the Direct Selling Association of the Philippines for being the top distributor of Niken Philippines for more than 3 consecutive years. She also received the Global Woman Corporate Leader Award given virtually in the UK. Okay. Okay, but she holds a healthy living webinar once a month, which I believe we should attend. That features a healthy living expert doctor who discusses the important role of nutrition in preventing illnesses. Welcome, Kate, to Women's Business. And thank you. And then we have Lotis Brown. She is a country president of AstraZeneca Pharmaceuticals. She is with us virtually, being represented by Karina and Carissa, and she has received a lot of awards and recognition as well. Employee of the Year award in 2010 of AstraZeneca, Brand Manager of the Year, and Vice President's Award for Launch Excellence. And of course, we have also yes. Is Chingai here? Okay, she's in Canada. Okay. Hi, Chingai. Don't have Cynthia's.
I'm here, virtual.
Okay. Chingai, hi. Hi in Canada. So Chingai is a multi-disciplined, results-oriented, and multi-awarded leader with extensive experience in the corporate and development sectors and has been instrumental in building sustainable agriculture, development, and peace programs in conflict areas of the Philippines. Thank you. Okay, and she actually is with Aboitis, and she's also the recipient of the Woman of the Future UK Southeast Asia Mentor of the Year Award in 2019. People's Asia Women of Style and Substance Award in 2018, and received recognition as one of the most influential Filipinas in the world 20. Wow, star-studded. Welcome to Women's Business Council Philippines, Gina. Yes. Thank you for staying up. Oh, no. Yeah, it's the opposite time. So, welcome, Chingai, and Cynthia Marie Delphine. She is with Villar Group of Companies, Vice President of TDI Resources Development. And she also, wow. If I read everything about you, that's enough. Okay. Yeah. So yes, but a lot. But all these accomplishments, congratulations, and we're happy to have you with Women's Business Council. Okay. So do you have the oath? Okay. Okay. Can you please, this is the membership pledge. If you can just say your name. I, representing women employee, having been fully admitted as a member of the Women's Business Council of the Philippines, I solemnly promise and pledge that I will wholeheartedly support and defend the aims, purposes, and principles for which Women Biz Philippines was created. that I will abide by and uphold its bylaws, and that I impose this obligation upon myself voluntarily without equivoc or mental reservation. So help me God. Congratulations, ladies. Congratulations, Irene. Congratulations, Kate. Congratulations, Cynthia. Yes. Take a picture with the new members. Stop.
And then you guys, would you guys? Still saying that. Please stay on stage, call on the board, trustees of WomenbizPH. So. May we request Ms. Cassie to join us? Yes. And Mr. Hansi and Mr. Joyce. Friends from the US Embassy as well. Trustee Evelyn, come join us, please. President of the city is the problem. Shares the picture. That's it. Thank you again, congratulations, new members, Ana Margarita, Jinigay Montiveros, Lotis Ramen, Cynthia, Marie Delphine, Kate Benasilio, and Arlene Currico. We haven't finished yet. We still have other members that we will be inducting. This time, may I please call on? I would want it. We have a special, we have an honorary member. May we request Ms. Mirna Yao to please join us on stage.
So we'd like to welcome Mirna Yao as honorary member of Women's Business Council of the Philippines. So here's the honorary membership pledge. I have been duly admitted as honorary member of Women's Business Council Philippines Inc. Solemnly Women's Philippines Treasury. I will buy an alcohol, pillows, all the questions. So. A presentation for men. So.
Again, can we have the board of trustees please to come up on stage again to honor our honorary member? And while we're doing that, may I advise, in case you don't know Miss Mirna Yao, she is your Barbie. She owns Ritual Trading Marketing Corporation. She's, by the way, past Philippine Commission on Women Chairperson. Special request, if we can have again Miss Tessie to join us with her hands. And if you said bless, please join us again here on stage.
I mean, you have to be tight.
Mirna Yao. Of course, the night is not complete without recognizing our new alliance members. And to induct our new alliance members again, our president was known.
May we call Lido Nueva.
All right, we have Lido Villanueva, chairman of the FinTech Alliance Philippines. And we also have Mr. Carlos Obido, president of the Ecocom Technology Association of the Philippines. We have some men in the room. We have more, yes. So their organizations have women in their organizations, not many, but they have. So we have women in FinTech for FinTech Alliance, and we have women in Infocom for the Infocom Technology Association of the Philippines.
Okay, we would like to welcome you to Women's Business Council Philippines as Alliance members. It's our honor to have you. This is our Alliance membership pledge. I, representing having been duly admitted as Alliance member of the Women's Business Council Philippines Inc. I solemnly promise to pledge that I will wholeheartedly support and defend the aims, purposes, and principles for which Women Biz Philippines was created. That I will abide by and uphold its bylaws, and that I impose this obligation upon myself voluntarily, without equivocation or mental reservation. So help me God. Congratulations.
Again, may we request this time Mr. George Barcelona to please join us again together with the Board of Trustees of Women Biz. The head your photo over there, Women Biz Trustees, Ms. Monette, can you come up on stage? Attorney Dick. Miss Evelyn. Miss Rosemary. Under the desk. Thank you, our alliance member and literally FinTech Alliance. I just started there. So just as on a side note there, Chair Lito happens to be the chair of FinTech Alliance. I'm also a trustee of FinTech Alliance. And we give applause. Okay, may I call again, Chair Miley and Chair, President Rosemary. Token of appreciation, or have we actually given this? Okay. All right, and this is to announce the. All right, President Rosemary Raphael will now give her acceptance speech.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I hope I still have your attention. I stand before you as Rosemary Raphael. When many years ago, I never expected myself to be speaking like this in an audience as such. But there was one time when I was in church and there was a church event and my senior pastor asked me to go in front and ask me, can you check if there's a pastor there who can open us in prayer? So what I did was I went in front, looked around, no pastor. So I went back to my senior pastor and said, sorry, no pastor. And then she said to me, go ahead and do it. So of course I said, me? I don't know how to pray. How? And there were like senior pastors. I was like so embarrassed, but you know what? I did it anyway. Fearfully. That was the beginning of the changes in my life, because when I started Airspeed International 36 years ago, and Hans can attest to that because I've known him for more than 36 years. I started in a male-dominated industry. And I started with 6 employees and now 1,000. Because of what happened, I embraced it and I asked myself, am I ready to do anything like this? But when I asked myself that question, am I ready? I don't know. But what I know is I am ready to embrace whatever task is assigned to me. What I know is that I have people around me who will support me and who will be with me. What I know is that as long as the things or the tasks that I do is aligned with my values, then we will succeed. As we journey through life, we ask ourselves if we're ready. Is the task given to me right now, am I ready? I am the incoming president of Women's Business Council of the Philippines. And we know that the women in Women's Business Council of the Philippines are strong, empowered, strong-willed ladies, and the husbands over there of these ladies got test that, right? But what we do is we just have to step in or step out and be consistent rather than being intense. I'd like to be consistent in the things that I do, and I will be present and not only listen but hear the people who are under my care. I'd like to acknowledge and take this opportunity to acknowledge our keynote speaker, Mrs. Tessie C. Carlson, who has been a role model of many women entrepreneurs, including myself, PSC. And I'd like to acknowledge also Mr. Hansi, chairperson of SM Prime, who keeps on telling me he's going to retire, but I know he will never retire. He's a mentor and a dear friend, and I always treasure the wisdom that he imparts with me. Thank you for that, Hans. I'd like to acknowledge Ricky Devocio, but he's no longer here, president of SMIC, who brings out the best in his people, including myself, and believes in women empowerment as well. I'd like to also acknowledge Jimmy Bautista, ex-president of Philippine Airlines and is my independent director in airspeed. Thank you for believing in me even when I was really very small. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, I didn't miss you. And he is really an epitome of what leadership is all about. And Yusek Bless. We have been together a lot of times, and you are tireless, especially in doing projects for the women. Tireless. And of course, our dignitaries, but I think they're not here anymore. And hello, Mr. Singh. Thank you so much for being part of us. And of course, Daryl G will be together in the US Summit. Thank you for coming. And the rest of the US Embassy delegates. And of course, my husband. Joey, who believes in me and encourages me and lets me fly, and he supports me, and really the best that God has destined for me to be. Yeah. Leia, I know you just got married welcome to my league, but and this year is a very special one as I have been tasked to lead this powerful, strong-willed women. Thank you. Thank you for believing in me. Attorney, thank you also for believing in me. And but I believe that these women are leaders who are nurturers and are relentless. They're unstoppable, right, ma'am? Unstoppable. Women encouraging one another with one vision and one heart. How can you go wrong? And what cannot be achieved if you have one vision, one heart, right? I would also like to acknowledge the presence of our alliance members. Thank you so much for believing in us as well, on site and virtually. And we believe in collaboration and cooperation to build our business, to build our communities, because the most important thing is building lives. One is too small a number to build anything, but with us working together, anything can be achieved. We accomplish not on our own, but with our people around us. I challenge each one of you to make a difference, not only in our organizations or in our communities, but for our country. Election is coming. Vote wisely. I embrace this new position as I know that this is a task that I cannot do on my own. But with all of you, my board of trustees, members, our new members, alliances, partners, DTI, with all of this, I know that we can make it happen. Thank you, everyone.
You know, we made the right decision, we made the right choice in choosing and voting our president, Rosemary Rafael, whose nickname happens to be beautiful story, starting with handling employees to over 1,000. And on her journey, she did mention part of her growth included the support of the SM Group in the collaborations that in the game. She's no longer small. And yes, make a difference. And lastly, vote wisely. Yes, congratulations again, President Rosemary. To wrap up today, I think President Rosemary, it's you again. It's presentation of announcement of projects and events of WomenbizPH. It's on the video.
Wow, Chairperson, Chair Maylene, you're making me work. I just got inducted. So just a short video of what we plan. Asan yung posters? Yeah, posters are pala. Okay, we have the hybrid induction. So many events are coming up. And hybrid induction, the board, this is what's happening. Impact Digital Marketing, April 27 and April 29 with Popsco. Popsco here? Popsco, yeah, please stand up. I just listened to them yesterday and amazing. It's really, they're like, yeah, very amazing. I listened to both of you and I learned so much about digital marketing, especially for MSMEs. So thank you so much. Next. So we have the Finex Profitable Finance Management, May 5 and 6. So this is an event that's welcome for everybody to join. And the next, maybe. Next, okay, we have the hybrid trade fair. Juan Miloto is not here anymore, but he's going to be part of this hybrid trade fair, where we're going to be in either Batangas or Calabarzon, or maybe Mr. Hansi, I don't want to put you in a spot, maybe SM Mall area where we can have a trade fair for our MSMEs, right? Okay, and then the Cebu Trade Fair. So these are going to be featuring the products of MSMEs in Calabarzon. No, nationwide, and then also in Visayas. Okay, and next event is Buying the Right franchise. This is of the actually Say and Access, DTI, Women's Business Council, and also Phil Exports, and then you're part of this also, no? And OSNET, and yes, Philippine franchise. So this is going to be very good. Where's Being? Is Being still here? Being is no longer here. Yeah. Okay, and another one is I Am Woman, Events and Programs. This is the book that Chair Malin. Yes, you're going to go home with these books. This is a fruit of the labor of the trustees of 2021 to 2020 to 2022. Very good book. Okay, next. And that's it. I think those are the events that we have for now. And we'd like to welcome you to join us in these events and other events that we're going with. Thank you so much.
We thank everyone who joined us out there, especially in the Zoom. We are ending our broadcast in the Zoom, but right here live, we are about to go into the best part of the day, which is actually the meal. But prior to that, may I request again, Miss Kaina, the previous singer we had, to entertain us with her angelic voice. And we also thank Dusit Hotel. Thank you, Miss Evelyn. Do enjoy the meal. And stop. Please join us up here. Can you all stand up for a crowd shot? Crowd pick.
Another one, I'm sorry, from here. Another one, Miss Mara. Thank you.